What is going on that people are not being aware of what they can and can't do?
Because when you're famous, there's certain things that you can and can't do. When you're in the limelight, like there's certain precautions that you need to do before you do certain things. And like if we all became famous in this room, I can't honestly sit there and say to you that I'm going to take those precautions before I go and do something. If I was doing something out there, I'd have to say to myself, well, look, you need to sign this, I need you to do this, I need to video this, or whatever the situations that they have to deal with to get through. And some of them don't go through that, and then they get extorted. And that's what it's about.
Hear it, but I'm just
Also,
saying,
you
when you
also
get,
know the pitfalls of this. You also know. You see how many men are getting accused of things, whether rightly or wrongly. You have to, if you're in the public eye, you have to know that these things can happen. So you have to make calculated decisions all the time.
I think what I was going to say as well, I think like the clubs need to do a bit more, especially for the younger, less mature professionals that they've got on their roster. Because ultimately, if they want to have like this figurehead that's going to go out and represent them, then they need to put the right things in place to support them when they're stepping out, because they're naive. A lot of these boys have been in. One sec, but a lot of these boys have been in that kind of environment for their entire life. They don't understand what it is to step out and draw a gal, talk to this person, talk to that person. They don't understand that when they're being ginnels, or when someone's trying to talk to them and try and twang them a little bit to get them, go around there and talk to this gal and get, I want 20 bags tomorrow. Like, they don't understand all of that. So there's a lot of naivety in there. And you touched on Ferguson. He was and is one of those guys that would say, this is what I'm expecting from my players. And, this is the support we're going to put around them, the safety net, if you like. You can even call it helicopter managing. But these boys are also got to look to themselves when they're getting into their 20s, 30s and say, what can I put in place around me? I need an extra safety blanket just to say, this is the distance I want. You said your brethren does the whole NDA. Good. That's what you should be doing.
That education has got to come from somewhere else because, as you said, it's about youth, right? They're young, they don't know. But that information has to come from senior players who've been down the road, players who've retired, who've been down this road. They need to not just educate those guys, they need to educate the people around them, their families, the friends. This is what you need to do. And you hear it all the time, retired players saying how they've ended up being extorted, they've lost money, they've lost families because of certain moves that they've made. For them, that information needs to be passed down. That's the only way you're going to learn.
It's like, so the point I was going to make, it's like, as the clubs, we should be saying or pressing them to say, do you know what, you should have a player mentor system.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And part of the training is, you have to come, this is how you have to eat, this is what you have to, this is how you have to train, this is your morning routine, your evening routine, your night routine. But here's some mentorship.